The ruling follows an application by a lobby group known as My Vote Counts. Party funding has been a big issue in South African politics for years. Civil society organizations have long called on Parliament to enact a legislation that regulates political party funding alongside the AU, the UN and other anti-corruption bodies the country has signed into. Some observers argue that transparency would help curb patronage politics.
Groundbreaking verdict because currently South Africa does not have an explicit legal framework or law that governs the funding of political parties. This question relates to the critical issue of accountability and transparency among political parties. The question of who funds political parties is linked to who determines the agenda. So sometimes politicians and policies suffer heavy influence from the critical players who provide funding to them.
The ruling ANC says plans are already afoot to ensure this kind of transparency. South Africa's parliament is already conducting its own review on party funding, and a draft bill has been tabled for public comment. The ANC says this move will certainly help bolster democracy in South Africa.
We have also seen instances where parties were made to take decisions to create alliances that were not originally from them, but they came from sponsors. And we think it's fair for South Africans to feel that they are protected in the way that the instruments of their democracy are purely for reflecting their own will, not subject to manipulation by some unscrupulous donors who might be posing at the back, trying to take advantage of the fact that they can contribute to assist parties that are struggling.
Some South Africans have varying views.
It's not a problem per se. However, I'm worried about the sponsors, because now you'll find that the sponsors, they are sponsoring all the parties, okay? And if they are sponsoring all the parties, let's say one party finds out that they are also sponsoring another party, you know that there are deals that are struck between parties. They might maybe take away those particular deals. Maybe that will be their problem. Otherwise, I think we need to know.
It's not right. They shouldn't. They'll expose some other things that might lead to some deals taken away, and we may even lose jobs.
I think it's a great idea because everything can be transparent.
The High Court has ordered Parliament to make provision for parties to publicly disclose private funding within the next 18 months. Yolisa, Njamela, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.